Had to wait for the Friday night games to lock before I made this recording. That's right. We're doing a recording now because you know what? When I don't have a stream Friday night, I can have a fucking life on Friday nights. I can pre-record this and put it out whenever the hell I want, not have to be a slave to the YouTube schedule. Hell, I might go watch some of my buddies coach high school football. I got all kinds of options now, you motherfather. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at DFS, because if you don't know this shit be hard and you're doing a ton of things wrong and you don't even know them, you don't even know what you don't know. If you think I'm going to do it with my picks and plays, well, then you have come to the wrong place. I am here for another P word called process. If you want to get a little bit better at the process and more importantly form your own, you might have just found the right channel. I encourage you to hang around. If you're not that into college football, well, don't worry. I do NFL. I do PGA. And soon I might even be doing another sport come February. So be looking out for that. You can see that schedule right there. If you like the cut of my jib, you'll get to see all of the me you want, okay? So let's get going. Let's break down this Saturday main slate for DraftKings, college football DFS, which if you don't play college football DFS, there's only one acceptable reason. You live in a state where it's not legal. Other than that, you're a donkey dick that hates money. It is one of the biggest edge DFS sports out there. I don't need your excuses. I don't know nothing about college football. That's why I make the stone, you donkey dick. Nobody knows anything about college football. That's why there's such an edge. Let's get to contest selection, all right? As always, what's my general thesis going to be? It's going to be two things, right? A, play a good amount of your portfolio. The amount of money that you're playing, play it in cash games. That's double ups. That's 50-50s. That's head-to-heads, right? Go find idiots to just make stupid lineups. I got a guy I play head-to-head every week. He never puts a quarterback in the Superflex. He's doing the Lord's work. He's doing the Lord's work, okay? Find those guys. They're just the gift that keeps on giving. And the second thing is, if you're going to play GPPs, and by the way, GPPs are fun, and GPPs can win you a lot of money. And here's how I determine. Sometimes I play GPP, sometimes I don't, and the answer is this simple. If I look at the slate and there's a lot of guys who I'm like, I don't want that guy in my cash lineup, but fuck, I'd like him in a GPP. Well, then I end up, and there's a bunch of those guys that play GPPs. It's pretty simple, right? But if I'm like looking at it and I'm like, well, that's a cash guy, that's a cash guy, that's a cash guy, and these games suck, then I don't play GPPs. That's pretty much my process. You come up with your own, but that's how I determine if I'm going to play GPPs or not. I always play cash because there's always cash guys, and even when there's not, that's even better because then the idiots are going to go pick even dumber people, right? So that is what I'm talking about. If you are going to play GPPs, I'm telling you, just try to get in ones that are more structured, right? Like I doubt many of you are playing in this 333, but look at it, 175,000, 50,000 to first. That's just so gross, right? That's like what, almost 28% of the entire prize pool to first place. Probably tell them. That means get the fuck out of here. There's Brennan Armstrong just running wild. Sorry. I've told you I'm watching the game. I got my eyes cheating on you up here, you motherfathers. I mean, it's crazy that the main contest actually has a better payout structure than the 333. I mean, it's not ideal, 20% to first, but we want 10% to first, right? We want second to be half of, at least half of first, and we want 10th to be 1/10. So that's not perfect, but it's not bad. As always, this $4.20 max is kind of a nutted contest if you ever want to get in one with a good payout structure where you don't have to remortgage your house to max enter it, right? But of course, the one contest you should definitely be in is mine. Go hop in it right now. I swear to God, if this doesn't fill, I have to do this every Saturday where I'm like, I'm going to get my contest. Just go fill it. It's a $5 3 max reduce rake, builds the community. You get a shout out, which now I just remembered the fucking editor did not send me the picture. It was in the newsletter. Hell, maybe I got the newsletter up over here. I might go shout out the winners from the newsletter. Oh, man, what did I do? Don't you click here to see the newsletter? Newsletter. Oh, shit. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I tried to shout you guys out. Is it on here? Maybe this is the wrong one. Oh, I'm not even signed in. What a fucking idiot. I think that was last week's winner. What a fucking loser. You guys get my fucking C- game. C-. And I'm pre-recording this, and I'm still not going to go back and fix it. That's what a loser I am. So go get in my contest. The link is in the description. I will also, it's also over on my Discord, and I will probably be tweeting it out in the morning. It is a $5 3 max. All right, let's talk about lineups. Let me tell you a little something. Do you build college football lineups by hand? Because if you're doing that and you're building cash lineups by hand and you're not looking at projections, if you do not have somebody's projections you can trust, like mine right there, well, then you're doing it wrong, right? I have ownership in there. I have projections. I do this for every college football slate, along with NFL, along with PGA, and you got to have good projections. And then on top of that, you need an optimizer, and that's what the solver is. It's the best optimizer out there. It will take that player pool, and it will make the best version of those player pools, right? It is essential, not only for cash, but for GPPs. If you're ever going to be even a quasi serious player, you're going to want to get this, right? And the best part is the optimizer itself, $24.99 a month or $39.99 for all the sports. Not only is that the optimizer, that's all of my projections loaded in there, so long as you use that showdown hoedown symbol when you sign up, okay? All right, let's get over to this slate. This is the Rosetta Stone. Yes, this is the YouTube, you're a poor, you'll get what you fucking deserve stone. The real stone looks like this, right? Here's the one from tonight, right? It's all pretty and colored up with projections and ownership and everything you need, right? This is the YouTube one, and you're going to deal with it, pal. You want the real one? Well, come on over to my Discord. We got one right over there, bro. Okay. All right, who do we got here? All right, sorry. I'm watching the game. Okay, so first game, Clemson at Syracuse. I'm going to warn you right now, Syracuse ain't no bitches. It is not going to shock me if Syracuse wins this game. Syracuse can play, all right? Now, I know we're not here to necessarily bet, but from a DFS standard, there's two things I like about this game. First of all, Clemson is definitely going to get pushed in this game. If you're worried like, oh, Clemson might blow them out and Klubnik and Shipley might not get to play in the fourth quarter, well, then you don't understand Syracuse. They're a scrappy bunch. It's in Syracuse, and they got some real players. Garrett Schrader is a dude. I'm telling you, he's a dude. LaQuint Allen is a dude, okay? And they have a bunch of solid receivers, and they play defense, all right? I think that this game is going to be sneaky competitive, and it would not shock me if Syracuse wins. On the flip side of that, it actually makes me like Clemson even more because Clemson is going to get a full push, and you can see they have a 30-point implied team total. So I think Will Shipley at 5,900, he's just always underpriced, and he's really starting to get those 18 to 20 touches a game we always want for him. But even more is Williams, the wide receiver, is out, and I think that opens up a lot of value for guys like Tyler Brown and Bo Collins. So be checking out those guys. I'm telling you, this game could sneaky shoot out. If it's 35-31, Syracuse wins, wouldn't surprise me. Let's get to everybody's favorite game, USC versus Colorado. If you don't know this, Lincoln Riley was the coach at OU for, 5 years or so? And there's two truths. The guy knows how to score more points than any man in the history of college football, and he also just only hires defensive coordinators that refuse to game plan and or tackle, okay? So with that in mind, this game is going to be a shootout. What is the total? Like 75 or something like that? Something ridiculous, right? And you are going to want to get access to this game, I can assure you, okay? USC is going to score a shit ton of points tomorrow. I promise you they will. But here's what I can tell you. They're also going to give up a shit ton. I bet Colorado scores in order of at least 28 points, right? I've already bet twice this year against USC's defense because, it was their team total, the defensive team total. I'm just like, take the over. They don't play any defense. So the good news about that is Caleb Williams is $10,500, which is such a big price tag, usually hard to get to. But I'm telling you, you just find a way to get there. You get to Caleb Williams because if he is going to play 4 quarters, you can almost certainly pencil him in for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's like a minimum, right? The guy is unbelievable. He is a generational talent. All the more that it hurts my heart that he left my Sooners because we'd probably be going to the playoffs this year if we just had that man. The running back situation, they got a little bit of a running back by committee. It's basically Jones and Lloyd, but Lloyd is definitely the better back and has been taking over. I think Lloyd is a sneaky GPP play. Someone's going to score a lot of points for USC. It would not surprise me if it's him. The problem with USC's receivers is Caleb just spreads it out so damn much, and they're all pretty pricey. Rice, Branch, Washington, Mario Williams, all above 6,000. Gross for guys that you can't even assume they're going to get 4 targets. And when you pay $6,000 for a receiver, you probably want more like 8 to 10 targets, Bob. So not great. Not great. Moving over to Colorado, the big news there is it appears as though Travis Hunter is probably going to be out again. The other big news that we're watching is Xavier Weaver is still banged up. If he's out, I think that opens up a lot of value for Colorado. I think Jimmy Horn is obviously going to soak up some of that usage, but guys like Javon, Antonio, and Dawson and Harrison, all 3 of those guys are guys that could have big games because that usage will be opened up with Hunter and Horn out. So be monitoring that in the morning. We will probably see if they're warming up. If they aren't, I think that opens up some really good value for Colorado. And if you're worried Colorado's going to get blown out because what happened with Oregon last week, just know USC ain't Oregon on defense, bruh. A&M and Arkansas, you gotta start with the league. Connor Wegman is out for the season. Max Johnson has taken over. Max Johnson he sucks. I don't know how else to tell you. He's just not a good fantasy quarterback. If you play him, why don't you just write a book called I Hate Money and or Life? Okay, because he is terrible. At $8,200 is the most laughable price tag on this slate. The running back situation is a true running back by committee. You can see nobody is averaging more than 10 rushes a game. Almost unplayable. There's just Brennan Armstrong, just always running. Has the guy ever thrown a pass in his life? And then for Arkansas, they actually have some really appealing features here, options, excuse me. With a 24-point total, it's not the highest, but this game could sneaky shoot out, right? A&M's defense, overrated AF. KJ Jefferson, always a good bet. The guy offers such a safe floor with his rushing equity and his rushing touchdown equity. It does appear as though Rocket Sanders may be back, which really might make that offense much more explosive. And at wide receiver, the clear number 1 is Andrew Armstrong, but watch out for the freshman Luke Haas, who had a really big game against against LSU and really seems to have solidified himself as KJ Jefferson's second favorite target behind Armstrong. From there, two teams that were supposed to be good but both sunk donkey dick, Florida and Kentucky. I don't know who you want to play. It seems as though Trevor Etienne has taken over that backfield, and he is the lead back for Florida. So I guess you could go there. I don't know if I get there in cash, but I think I'm open to that in GPPs. Ricky Pearsall is definitely the number one the number one wide receiver. However, at $7,400, not a chance I'm playing him. Going over to Kentucky, Leary, Davis, and their big three wide receivers were all supposed to be studs this year, and they just keep disappointing. If you force me to play one, you could probably talk me into some old Ray Davis, but like they've just been so disappointing. And with a 22.5 point total, I'm not lining up to play frickin' Kentucky. Moving on, Penn State versus Northwestern. Thank God DraftKings priced up Singleton and Allen because it feels like both of these guys are going to have 58 points this week, and they've been in the 5,000s forever. Northwestern is just roo-roo bad. Okay, they're a bunch of soft-ass puss boys, and they are going to get killed by Penn State. I think that there's really only three guys from this game you should seriously be considering, and that is Lambert Smith, just because he is clearly the number one receiver, getting about 7 targets a game there, and then, of course, Singleton and Allen, but trying to figure out which one of those is going to go ham and which one is just going to be okay. Good luck with that, because I've never been able to guess it. Moving on, Arizona State, Cal. This one's interesting. Arizona State are down to their third quarterback, who is Mr. the Frenchman, Mr. Brougon. And he is going to be starting at $4,800. You never mind a $4,800 quarterback. Yes, they don't have the biggest total, but he does have good receivers. Eli Badger definitely has number one receivers. Jalen Connors, the OU transfer, who is the tight end, is also a solid option. And Scatterbo gets a lot of run out of the backfield. You can see he's averaging about 17 touches a game this year. So if you think Arizona State can push the pace of this game, I think that Arizona State has a lot of value to be had. Cal, on the other hand, I mean, they play football. Like, what are we doing here, right? Jeremiah Hunter, probably the only piece you want to consider. I mean, Ott does have a pretty good workload with 18 rushes a game, but at $8,100, you want to pay $8,100 for a Cal Bear running back? What are you doing with your life? So let's get to this game. Kansas, Texas, you always know. I'm wearing an OU hat, so you should just know this up front. I always think Texas sucks, okay? And Quinn Ewers does suck. And if you play Quinn Ewers at $8,700, just know you do it to yourself, okay? Here's what you need to know. Kansas traditionally plays Texas very tough. Yes, Texas beat the brakes off of them last year. But I'm telling you, Kansas is solid, and I think Kansas is going to play Texas pretty tough, which not only makes Kansas guys pretty appealing, I think it makes the Texas players super appealing, right? I think Texas is going to be pushed for 4 quarters. I think Jonathan Brooks, Xavier Worthy, Davion Sanders all become mega plays, and they're all tremendous values, honestly, based on what they have to offer. Once you factor in that Quinn Ewers is $8,700 and he's almost unplayable at that price, I think you can just go grab a couple Texas pieces, run it back with like a Daniels or a Neal, or try to guess which of those Kansas receivers is going to go off, and you could have a sneaky little correlation there. Auburn and Georgia, this game just reeks of just frickin' slogfest. Auburn's offense is, I mean, they're basically to the point at DFS, just mark them off. Just don't play them. You want to know the best thing you could do? Just don't play about half of these teams. Just play nobody from them. Just X them off. Yes, I put some names on here in case you're a real sicko, but you shouldn't do it, Bob. On the other hand, Georgia, they haven't been great, but the good thing I can say about Georgia is at least it seems as though they have a top running back emerging in Degen. Delicious. Love him on my corn dogs. Edwards, right? He is kind of taking over that role. Carson Beck at $8,900 is laughably overpriced. Bowers is due for a big game. I don't mind some Bowers, okay? But he has seemed a little banged up this year, right? He just hasn't seen his dominant self that he normally is. So be paying attention to that, Bob. Be paying attention to that. Other than that, I think this game just stay the fuck away. You want a sneaky shootout game? How about Indiana, Maryland? If Indiana can ever figure out their offense again and get back, they do have Camper back. They do have Donovan McCulley starting to emerge as a legit second pass catcher. Jalen Lucas is the best running back value on the slate. They got some guys, right? They got some guys. If they could get to 28 points, you know Maryland can score some points too with Baby Tua. Himby's a good option. Good luck trying to figure out their receivers. If you made me pick one, I would probably go with Prather, but I don't love any of them, right? They all just get 5 targets. It's like they go into the game like 5 targets. All right, fuck that guy. He doesn't get another pass. Here's your 5. All right, get him off the field. No more for him. It's like a rule. They just no usage monsters. And the problem is they're all like priced up. $5,500, $6,000, $5,400. You can't pay those prices for guys who only get 5 targets. Michigan, Nebraska just reeks of a slogfest. It appears as though Jeff Sims is likely to be benched, and if that's the case, Heinrich Heidelberg, the German, I don't know where he's from, but that sounds pretty freaking German, is going to take over. Nebraska with an 11-point total, basically unplayable. Michigan has an incredible defense. They're going to control this game by running the ball right down Nebraska's throat. J.J. McCarthy is overpriced. I never mind a punt Roman Wilson or Cornelius Johnson because they always have that 6 catches, 120-yard, 2-touchdown upside in them, right? But to me, the interesting play is what do we do with these running backs? It is clear that Blake Corum is definitively the number one back there. He is going to probably get his 15 to 18 rushes, and if he gets in the box twice, he could be that guy that breaks the slate. Could I ever play him in cash? Not a chance, Bob. But I do think that he could be that 35-point guy that's the highest scoring running back on the slate that you would need in a GPP winning lineup. From there, Illinois, Purdue, this one has everything you want in a game, right? First of all, you got all kinds of you got the old defensive coordinator who's now the head coach, and he's saying he's going to shoot down old Juice Williams. Okay. You've got a high total of 54 points. They are dead even. It's a straight pick 'em, so you assume we're going to have a competitive environment. Luke Altmaier is the quarterback at 5,700, and Hudson Card is the quarterback at 66. Both very, very appealing options for how cheap they are on the slate, especially if you need someone cheap to pair with Caleb Williams. The wide receiver spot, Isaiah Williams is definitely the stud wide receiver there at Illinois, but I have heard, this is the rumor, is that Purdue is going to take him away at all costs. That's the rumors. If you buy into fucking bullshit rumors, well, there you go. On the other side, Purdue, Hudson Card has not been good, but he has not been bad. He gets you 17 points every game. Not a point less, not a point more. The running back situation, I don't want anything to do with it. I think Maccabee still leads it, but if I'm not sure, I sure as shit ain't paying $6,400. At wide receiver, they spread the ball around quite a bit. They are a pass-forward team, but the two guys that really seem to be eating it up the most are Burks and Yassin. Okay, Yassina's name up there. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it. Those are two guys, and I think at those price tags in this game environment are both very cash and GPP viable. The other game, maybe my favorite game, and it is the last one on the slate. So you're gonna have to sit there and wait and be patient. Watch your lineups moonwalk, and then hopefully you get it all back with this game. Boise State Memphis is a great game. Look at that, only a 3.5-point spread and a very, very big total. You have two pretty explosive offenses here. I could see this game really shooting out. We are making the assumption that George Helene is going to continue to be out. If that is the case, then Ashton Jeanty is just the most free square ever. The guy has been unbelievable since he took over the starting role. Taylon Green has not been great this year, but I think a lot of that has to do with Boise State trying to turn him into Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. Let the man run around. At 6,200 with that team total, you got to be aware of it. And then the one receiver that I would encourage you to look at from Boise State is Eric McAllister. The guy has been a true usage monster for them. He is definitively their number one receiver, getting 9.3 targets a game. Pretty impressive stuff. On the flip side, Memphis pretty damn good too, Bob. They're pretty good. Seth Hennigan, he don't suck. Okay, he does not suck. 8,000, a little on the high side, but he has some real nice projections. I mean, real nice. Blake Watson is definitively their number one running back. He projects very well in this game. You've got to like his spot, and their top receiver is Rock Taylor. And I think Hennigan is a guy you could probably double stack, right? And just hope that this game shoots out, run it back with a Broncho or two, and I think you get there, right? So that is it. That is the 12-game DraftKings slate for tomorrow, right? Gave you some ideas about some games to avoid, games to target, guys to look at, some narratives, and all that shit. If you want a live stream, well, don't worry. I'll be doing one tomorrow at 10 a.m. over on my Discord/website. If you want to know about that, it's called Degen75.com. It has everything you need from college football to NFL to PGA and soon another sport. And we do it all by focusing on three things, right? We focus on helping you with your process and not with picks and all that stupid bullshit, okay? We do it by not celebrating my wins. If you see me winning, don't come join my site because I win. Join my site because I help other people win. With this collage right here, this is just from last week. Go check this out and get these are the people that should be celebrated, not me, okay? So that is what we're about. We're about them. And oh yeah, we have tools that help you form that process and be your own person and do all of it without price gouging you. This is called the Rosetta Stone. This is the one for the games tonight that are currently playing right now. I do this for all of the games that are 4 or more slates. It has my projections, it has my ownership, it colors up who are guys you should consider for cash, and GPPs has everything you need. If you want to try it out, but you're reluctant, you've never tried a site like this before, just go sign up for my freaking newsletter. You remember this from earlier in the show, right? You sign up for my newsletter, you send a DM to @TheDegenEditor on Twitter, and he will give you a free week on my website, no strings attached. Just simply show him that you signed up for the newsletter, you get a free week on us, because once you do it, you're going to be like, oh shit, this is the truth, Bob. I like this shit, and then you're going to hang around, okay? So that's how it is. Guys, it has been real. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. tomorrow, please go get in my contest. Don't be a stupid whore. I need to fill this bitch. I appreciate every single one of you. I will see you tomorrow night live for the NFL stream. That will be at 7 o'clock, Lord's time zone as always. I'll talk to you later, you motherfathers. Enjoy this outro.